is not only do these fat activists and people like Tess Holliday hate themselves, they also hate other fat people. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sam. If you are a returning viewer, hello. I am so glad you joined me again this week. If you are new here and this is the first time you are seeing my face, welcome. I make weekly videos dissecting internet nonsense, so if you're into that type of thing or you like today's video, I hope that you'll consider liking and subscribing. It really helps out the channel and make sure that you never miss another upload from me. It was not that long ago that we sat here together on this channel as a group, eating our snacks and talking about Fierce Fat Femme, tearing apart other fat creators online who decided they were going to lose weight. And the entire time that she did that, she kept telling them that they should get an original argument against fat acceptance.
It's also just not very original, this is number 2, to spew anti-fat bias in ways by, like, saying the fat acceptance community is a cult, or saying that, like, you gotta watch your health, like, all the things that fat phobia has taught us. Like, get an original argument, at least, is all I'm, like, hoping you'll do in the meantime.
And within that same video, she told us that the reason she was angry was that these creators were tearing down the movement.
We're angry that you then shat upon us all in the fat community. Again, not original. Again, try something new.
Since that video, I've been thinking quite a lot about this, and I can't seem to pinpoint why, Angelina included, they're suddenly playing this game where they're being really vague and not wanting to name names. Because these are people who regularly stitch people that they don't agree with just to rip into them on TikTok. Why are they suddenly so afraid to pinpoint exactly what they're talking about? Then, just recently, good old Tess Holliday popped up on my For You page, and her video sounded vaguely familiar to me. Let's take a look and see what she had to say.
This is about people that build entire platforms with the help of plus-size people, of marginalized groups, and then when they change their bodies, it appears that a lot of people have also completely forgotten that just because they are now skinnier, smaller, whatever, that fat person is still them, that those two people are the same person, because then they go and shit on the community that helped them garner their success.
Okay, so this is Tess just remaking Angelina's video. The exact same argument, almost word for word, though Tess was a little bit less theatrical about it. It's almost as if they don't have any original arguments and are all using the same talking points. The one other thing Tess changed up from Angelina's video was reminding these creators that she was intending to talk to with this piece, reminding them that they are still the same person before and after losing weight. And I think for me, the thing about this is that I think that Tess and her peers and her followers should take a real hard look in the mirror, because I think the people that she's talking to realize that they're the same person. They're just implementing new habits and changing their lives a little bit. It's Tess and her peers and her followers who are treating them like they're suddenly different just because they are losing weight and changing their content to reflect their new habits. That and that alone is what has these women so pressed, so heated, that they're out here making this exact same video. And I just want to remind you, I will beat a dead horse on this channel. The people they are tearing down are still fat. Let's see what else Tess has to say.
It's the same comments. It has nothing to do with someone losing weight. And if anyone was in the body positive, body neutrality, whatever space, you guys would actually know that.
For me, it's the gaslighting and the manipulation here. Because Tess is essentially saying that these people who've been in the same movement as her, who've been in the trenches, who have followed the rhetoric, those people who have now decided, hey, maybe I've changed my mind on a few things, maybe I've realized I just need to implement healthier habits to get closer to body positivity, maybe I just need to change that a little bit in my own life, and maybe my platform is going to reflect it. Those people didn't believe hard enough. So they were never actually a part of it. They only wanted to make money off of it. And I also find it extremely fascinating within this manipulation that Tess is suddenly trying to make it seem like body positivity and body neutrality were the same thing. When the truth is, body positivity was never working towards or seeking out body neutrality. That has never been true, and it's very unfair for her to pretend that it is. But wait, there's more.
So no one here is anti-weight loss. We don't need to look in the mirror.
Then why are y'all making so many videos? Why are you all so pressed in the fat acceptance movement that there are so many individual videos at this point of Tess and her fat comrades coming out to let us know that it is about the weight loss? Because that's all they've managed to do every single time they've made a video, is let us know that that is the actual problem and the only problem that they have. And at the beginning of this video, if you remember, I pointed out briefly that it had stuck with me that I couldn't figure out why people like Tess and her peers were coming out and saying, I'm going to take the moral high ground and I'm not going to name names, but these influencers are losing weight and they're shitting on us in the fat acceptance community. Girl, where? And since when are you guys so afraid to name names? Where are the stitched videos where you're calling out content that you directly disagree with? Since when are they afraid to do that? That's how most fat activists got their platform, is by calling people out directly. Go ahead and name names. Give me receipts. Pinpoint exactly where these influencers who are losing weight are doing this. I would love to see it. It should be so easy, since there are so many of them, for y'all to just pinpoint exactly what the problem is and deep dive right into the point that's internalized fat phobia. Does anybody else find this fascinating that suddenly, the Tess Holliday and fat activists are afraid to call people out? I call BS. Wait, what's that you say? They can't do that? They can't show receipts or name names because it's not actually happening? And just to prove this point, even in the comment section of this video, someone asked Tess point blank, who is this about? And Tess's response was, it's generally too many to count. Someone else asked her to name one creator then. She did not respond to that. Is anyone honestly surprised? Though Tess didn't respond, someone else did, and they named Shiny by Nature. When someone asked this person to expand and pinpoint a video where Shiny by Nature was hating on the community, that person responded and said, just scroll her content and you'll see her saying she just lost 90 pounds. Tell me it's not about the weight loss without telling me it's not about the weight loss. And Tess isn't the only person doing this high road bit. We already talked about Angelina. She did the same thing. But also a creator we just recently talked about, Abby from the More Than Tracy T channel, has done a very similar thing. And there was a comment asking her to name names, and her response was, if you're thinking of a person, it's probably them. How original. All right, let's start to wrap this thing up. Tess, what else do you have for us today?
I have always said that I believe that everyone should do what they want with their body. That's the entire reason I created F Your Beauty Standards. Because F it, do what you want, portray yourself how you want.
Well, that's a confusing message, isn't it? After all we've seen and heard today from Tess. She's ending it saying, go ahead and change your mind. Go ahead and change your body and change your content. That doesn't matter to us. But everything up until this point has proven otherwise, because the minute someone changes their content or starts promoting habits that they've done or talks about what they're doing in their real life that's making their body shape change, well, they're just automatically shitting on the fat community. They hate themselves. They hate fat people. They're probably a pick-me, since that's the new thing that fat activists like to call other women. What do you mean they can do what they want? That is just so clearly not the truth, and we're just seeing that over and over again. So I'll just point out one last time. I think the reason that these videos, like the one Tess has made, the reason that they're keeping it so vague and not pinpointing and not stitching other content is because the the women that they're attacking are very much still plus size. They are still a part of this community. So there's not a way for them to tag these people or stitch these people without looking like gigantic hypocrites. Because the people they're attacking have only lost a couple sizes, which means they're still fat. They're still promoting plus size workout gear. They're still promoting plus size clothing brands. They're still promoting plus size clothes in general. They're still talking about the issues with plus size fashion. Nothing has really changed. But Tess and the other people making videos like that, they cannot pinpoint this and they cannot call this out because it'll make it too obvious that they are the only haters in this space. All right, that is all I have for you all today. At this point, I'm curious to know what you think. Did you see Tess's video in the wild? What do you think about her doing this thing where she's choosing not to name names? What do you think about her video being a carbon copy of Fierce Fat Femme's video? Do you think it's interesting that they don't have their own original arguments, since that was Angelina's whole premise of her video? What do you think about her gaslighting people and telling them that they weren't doing body positivity correctly? I am genuinely curious to know what you all think at this point because, again, we've been talking about this from the beginning of the year, and it just keeps getting more and more wild. And I think the conclusion that I'm coming to is not only do these fat activists and people like Tess Holliday hate themselves, they also hate other fat people, which is just an interesting concept when you really think about it. And for all my introvert friends out there who may not feel comfortable leaving your opinion in an internet comment section, I see you, I feel you. Go ahead and leave me one of those big old eye roll emojis because I feel like that's the only proper emotion after watching Tess spew anything online. Especially when you think about the fact that just 2 months ago, she was going on a diet.
Diet is never a word I thought I would use when it came to my food.
And telling people not to judge other people for what they did with their bodies.
There's been so many plus size and fat creators losing weight and changing their bodies. And I know people are mad, but at the end of the day, people need to do what they feel is best with their bodies, and nobody owes anybody anything. And I know how it can feel like a slap in the face and you feel so betrayed. But guess what? The only person in charge of your happiness is you.
As always, thank you all so much for being here with me this week. I will see you in the next one. Bye.